The guy that she got the hair from came from the funeral home. He was working with the dead, and they were being cremated, and he was trying to make a hustle off of the dead people's hair.
So yeah, you know how sometimes the reality shows or these court shows may or may not be truthful. I'm not sure about the dead people source, but I did find other sources where your hair could be coming from that will leave you quite intrigued. We will be discussing some of the sources where hair extensions come from. You may remember that documentary some years ago with Chris Rock called Good Hair. He gave a glimpse of where the hair attachments used in the beauty industry come from. Before we begin, I want to get something out of the way for the race baiters. Recipients of hair extensions is not exclusive to the Black community. Women of all races, ethnicities, and nationalities get hair extensions. The thinning issues run deep within many societies. We all remember Kim Zolciak from The Real Housewives of Atlanta, or even that controversial lady on TikTok whose wigs cost upwards of $10,000, and she caters to Jewish women. Women and men wear hair extensions, and it's not exclusive to a certain demographic. Storm drains. So, yeah, you heard me. Storm drains. So I came across this article on InStyle website. There was a documentary about the origins of fake hair. I was shocked to see that city drains were a source for fake hair. Just Extensions was a self-produced documentary featured on Amazon in 2015 by Rakia Hales. And forgive me if I said your name wrong. This hair is allegedly known as, quote, fallen hair, end quote. Miera Dearman, a celebrity wig maker, mentioned in the article that hair is an unregulated industry. Quote, I've been into a shop and bought Remy hair that has synthetic in it, Dearman said. They can say it's from anywhere. Made with prison slave labor. In an article published by the Associated Press, it was alleged that prisoners, mostly Muslim, were forced to make hairpieces. The U.S. subsequently stopped this shipment, citing, quote, the production of these goods constitutes a very serious human rights violation, and detention order is intended to send a clear and direct message to all entities seeking to do business with the United States that illicit and inhumane practices will not be tolerated in U.S. supply chains, end quote, said Brenda Smith, Executive Assistant Commissioners of CBP's Office of Trade. Side note, I find this sudden burst of ethics fascinating since about 4 years later, the same publication outed U.S. slave labor practices with major brands. But I shall digress. It's the hypocrisy for me, okay? In a quote from another article, it reads, quote, outside of concentration camps, select prisoners are relocated to forced labor factories disguised as vocational training centers, where they are kept apart from family to work without pay. Both camps are forced labor facilities and kept strategically in close proximity with human hair production factories, end quote. Wow. Side note again, is this not what Unicor does in the United States? Is this not what the prison strikes in Alabama is about as well? But I shall digress again. Indian temples. So as I mentioned earlier about the documentary Good Hair, we all remember the documentary, right? But if you missed it, let me summarize it for you. And I'm quoting from the article. The temple town, I'm going to say T because I don't want to mispronounce it, in South India is the largest pilgrimage spot where thousands of devotees practice tonsure daily. The concept of the Hindu who practice this is that they're paying tribute to the god Lord Balaj for the blessings he may have bestowed upon them. It is their way of showing gratitude. The practice is also symbolic of sacrifice of material beauty and false ego by one. The donated hair becomes the property of the temple, and the temple rulers sell the hair to these manufacturers for cosmetic purposes. The beauty industry uses the hair for various types of hair pieces. The hair donated by the men are largely used for the extraction of L-cysteine. L-cysteine is a semi-essential amino acid that is obtained industrially by hydrolysis of human hair. It is used in the personal care and pharmaceutical industries. As if reading that wasn't shocking enough, let me mention why I was floored with the L-cysteine. I'm going to sit this right here for you. Okay, honey? I'm going to sit this right here. I found this out a long time ago when it was said on like a Facebook post or something that it was a lot of breads and desserts and certain things we couldn't eat as Muslims. Like they were saying it's not halal. And I'm like, how could a donut not be halal? That don't even make no sense. It's bread. Yeah, you see what that say. Once I found out why, I was done. So, with that being said, this brings my mini documentary to a close. Be sure to hit that like button and the subscribe button. And remember, if you want to watch more beauty scandals, just go straight to our playlist. It can be accessed by going to tinyurl.com/them hair scandals. If I don't forget, I will try to link it in the description, inshallah. Thank you so much for watching and have a wonderful day.